Pascarella, and right now I want to be able to talk to you about collaboration. Collaboration is one of the major topics, affecting product development efficiencies today. So when you look at collaboration, it has a long history. People are natively collaborative. And if you go back into the manufacturing side, even 100 years ago, when the Industrial Revolution was starting, people were all in one room. You had the engineers, you had manufacturing people, you had project people, you had finance people, and they were all together in one room. And the collaboration was instant. It was always in context. And in most cases, you didn't even have to lift your head up. If you just asked a question, you got an immediate response. So there's zero latency, zero errors. So it was just perfect communication. But what happened is we became victims to our success. So as companies became more and more successful, they started organic growth. And organic growth was both organizationally within the company. For instance, the engineering organizations now became a little more dispersed. So engineering had their own area, manufacturing had their own area, finance had their own area, and so everyone was dispersed in their own locations. Well, the effect of that was to increase latency in communication. It was also to start introducing errors. So now my context was not quite perfect anymore. So and that's where you introduced errors. So the communication kind of suffered. Then the other organic growth came from when the supply chain started, because now I have organizational, and geographic disbursement. So the issue there is even more magnified. So one of the reasons why the supply chain was so successful was that suppliers started off in one room, and they were very efficient. They were highly collaborative. Their communications were zero latency, 100% context, almost no errors and defects or an error in their communication. So it was easy for OEMs to say, I'm going to get a better product if I outsource this to a supplier. But then what happened? Again, we're again victims to our success, and suppliers started to grow. And when suppliers started to grow, their inherent organic growth caused them to go through this organizational disbursement on their own because they wanted to be big. So now they started dispersing their people. And again, so now their communication started to suffer, their latencies increased, their context introduced more error in communication. And we've been a victim of that over the last 100 years. So what happened then with the introduction of computers and software, we thought this is the answer. What we can do is introduce computer systems as tools that will help people collaborate and get back to the efficiencies in communication that we had in the past. And that's really been the mission of all computer applications since the start, was to help the people be more natively efficient and to introduce collaboration. Get back to the communications that we had at one time. But the problem, though, was that with dedicated applications, software applications, you tended to fragment and segment and put walls around users. So purchasing users had their own applications, and that's what they did all day long. And they didn't talk to anybody, they just generated purchase orders. And engineers had their heads down applications, and they just sat in their CAD systems, all day long in dark rooms, and didn't talk to anybody. Again, no collaboration, and on and on and on through every user domain. So we had local optimization of user domains, but we still missed the overall efficiencies of the process, the product development process. And that's why I think one of the most major initiatives facing PLM today, and all OEM customers, is how to address the collaboration. How do we become more efficient in our collaborative processes the way we used to be? So, and again, one of the other drivers of that is we're going to be introducing an entire new next generation engineer. And this young generation of engineers are used to collaborating natively. All right? To them it is not foreign. They're born sharing. All right? So they're going to be looking at that capability in their jobs and careers as well. They're going to want to know that they can natively collaborate, and they're going to have the proper tools that will enable them to natively collaborate. So, and we need to anticipate that. We need to start building these tools. We need to have native collaborative platforms put together with the enabling tools and the enabling best practices and methods. That's going to be key for the success of product development efficiencies going forward. So, and one of the reasons why I find Geometric so exciting is they get it. Okay, so Geometric is looking at that and looking at the overall PDM initiatives or PLM initiatives that are going to be required for the future, and recognizing that collaboration is key and central to making this happen.